Hello and welcome to Community Conversations. I am Miss Ebony J, the host that does the most, and you are listening to 100.3 Cincy's R&B station, 1230 The Buzz, 101.5, and 101.1 The Wiz. I'm Miss Ebony J, the host that does the most, and I have in here with me two extraordinary queens who are so excited about women uplifting each other and loving on each other. Please, kings and queens, welcome Miss Zaya. How are you doing, beautiful?
Thank you. I'm doing wonderful, and I'm honored to be here today with you, Ebony.
I'm glad that me and you were able to meet. We actually ran into each other at a women empowerment event, and it was just so great. Your energy was so amazing. And then you told me about this amazing book. I Call You My Sis. Let's talk about, your whole entire mission because this is actually an organization that you have. You're the founder of the V Project. So tell us what that is and how did you start it?
The V project actually is Vasikina project, which in Shona means girls project, and it was started in 2014. After talks with my sisters and my husband, Honest Mamute, on ways we could help. And at that time when it was started, there was a lot of discussion and about girls needing help in puberty education as well as finding dignified ways to manage their periods. So we wanted to shed light on that subject as well as find ways that we could assist in helping these girls stay in school.
Now, we know that being a girl in school and you're going through puberty and life is happening, it can be very uncomfortable because she's going through this, you're going through this. Nobody really wants to talk about it. Nobody knows how to deal with their issues. Why puberty health education out of everything else for you?
It was a way of carrying on our mom's legacy because she was also involved in empowering girls. She worked for a family planning organization, and she went from one whole household to another, one village to another, talking to women about ways they can you know, talking to them about family planning and ways that could empower them in making those decisions.
So, what inspired the book?
The book was inspired through um, dream walking with Sonia Jackson Miles, who is the who wrote the foreword for the book.
She
So
wrote the foreword for the book.
yes, so it was through conversations with her through the dream walking class. She asked me, "What you seem so resilient. What are some of the ways that keeps you bouncing back?" So she had me list five um, things that keep me inspired and keeps me, you know, bouncing back. And so I listed prayer, I listed my faith, and I listed my sisters, not necessarily my sisters from birth,
Right.
also just the women that I interact with, you know. So that's how I Call on You Sis came about.
I love it. I call on you, sis. I mean, we have to be able to call on each other, right? And you had to call on Miss Sis, Miss Carla. You had to call on her to help you with editing the book.
Yes.
Can I talk to Miss Carla for a minute?
Sure.
Can you tell us, Queen, what was it like, editing this book, reading it, going through it? What was going through your mind?
Oh, Ebony, a lot. I had known Sia for quite a while, and at one point we actually worked together. And I remember of all the women that we were working with, and some of the drama that went along with it. Zia was always my person to go to who just kept everything very level headed, So when she called on me and she wanted to do this, it was very easy for me to say yes and to work with her and going through the book and all the different call outs that she had done for the different situations. It just took me back to that time when we were working together and when I found out what an amazing human being and woman that she was. And the book just rang true with her character, like in just trying to encourage women to stick together, keep calm, better days ahead, and, everything that just empowers and, concentrating on things that build rather than concentrating on fanning the flames of, negativity. So
Right.
it was, yeah, so it was very inspiring to work on that. And I felt really proud for her and just seeing everything kind of come full circle because I felt like I had known Sia for a long time in the spirit she is, and the world is just now starting to get to know her.
As a woman, it is so hard to be encouraged with all the things going on TV, on social media, just in your life. Reading this book and going through it, how do you think it helps you as far as with encouragement or being inspired?
It, like when you first, the very first few pages of the book, it talks about um, before you dwell, before you start delving into it, right? Go through some things that you want to do as a sister. If I can just read the
Okay.
beginning a little bit, just to show you just to illustrate what I'm talking about. So it talks about if you're the sister code, right? Uh, oh no, that's not the part that I want to read. Sorry about that. But oh yeah, so before you start, right? So she talks about to find this journal useful, be with the mindset that you'll be mindful of sisterhood from now on. So as you go through this book, it's like, okay, what is it to be mindful of sisterhood? What does that actually mean, right?
Right.
And then it talks about before you call on a sister, be clear about what you need help with. Focus only on your challenge and not on the challenges of others. Because again, it's one of those things as women, it's so easy for us to get into what others are going through as a way of deflection. But it's like
Right.
if we're going to really and truly heal and work on each other, let's focus on what's in front of us. Focus on yourself. Yeah. So all of these things, as you read it, do not call on a sister to spread gossip. Just focus on the silver lining, seek understanding. If you're the sister called upon, don't hijack the conversation because again, we think even if you call me and say, hey, Clara, this is what's going on with my life, I'm like, oh my gosh, this happened to me too. And then we start talking about
By
what's happening to
ourselves.
you, about
Right.
yourself. But really, it's like in the moment that you're called upon, you know, focus on what that person is
Be
calling you
there for
about.
your sister.
Yes, yes. So I found it helpful in that way. Like now, when I speak with different women or I'm talking to my girlfriends, I'm always trying to be in the moment and figure out, you know, how can I help?
Yeah.
So that's the thing that I have really gotten out of this.
Thank you so much for sharing, Miss Clara.
You're welcome.
Now you are listening to Soul 101.5, 1230 The Buzz, your talk station, 100.3 Cincy's R&B station, and 101.1 The Wiz. This is Community Conversations where we come to talk about things happening in our community. And a lot that's happening in our community is that women don't want to uplift each other. Sometimes they talk at each other, they talk down to each other, they're not there for each other. But you have created a book that inspires, that uplifts, that rebuilds, that really gives you that encouragement that you need to be a woman, but also to be a sister. And I think that's the part that we don't think about is that sisterhood is important. It doesn't mean that we have to be blood, but it's where can we help the next person? How can we make them better? Or how can we give them just the assistance that they may need at that moment? And I know that this book has is made to help us all get to the same place, right? How does this book align with the V Project?
It aligns with the Vasikina project because proceeds from the book are going to empower us by helping us publish a puberty educational resource for schools in Zimbabwe.
Oh, that is amazing. So you're definitely giving back. And that's what it's all about. Now, is Vasikina, that project, is that something that you do here or is that a project or initiative that you do in Zimbabwe?
Vasikina project is also registered in Zimbabwe. Our work here in Cincinnati and in our community is helps fund the project that we are helping we are doing in Zimbabwe.
So can you tell us where we can get this journal?
Uh, Yeah, so the journal is available at a lot of different places. You can find the journal through our publisher's website, and that's Brawler Books. They are a local publisher, actually. They're out of Dayton. And if you go to their website, www.vasikana.org, vaskanaproject.org, you'll see a link to where you can get the book from our publishers. And then, of course, it's also available on Amazon.com, which is probably the easiest to get
Yes.
it from. You can also get it at BarnesandNoble.com. So, a lot of different places. If you just Google I call on you, sis, that will lead you to different ways in which you can purchase the book.
How can people get involved? Because this is an amazing initiative that you all are doing. Like, my hat's off, tilting my crown forward. How can they assist you?
So people can get involved in different ways. Obviously, the most important way we want people to get involved because we want to be able to help girls growing up in Zimbabwe is by purchasing the journal. So 100% of the proceeds of this journal will go towards helping those girls in Zimbabwe. So the most important thing is getting involved by purchasing the journal. And then if you can tell your sisters or whoever in your community is, about the journal, you can get together in different groups. We're starting a new year,
Yeah.
2020. I think it is a great opportunity to start off the new year with the right relationships and just get your sisters, get your community, whether it's church, it's in your family, and just do community around that book and what it says and try and start living some of those principles in your life.
Now, do you all have any plans to work with any other organizations when it comes to this book?
Yes, we absolutely do. So I know Zia has been working with Girls Health Period, which is another organization that pretty much does what Vaskana does here on a local level. And with regards to the puberty handbook she talked about, we are working with the local medical doctor here in Cincinnati.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, we're working with different organizations. Is there any other organization that I didn't talk about, Zia? Yeah, that's why Dr. Patricia Beck is the local doctor that will be working with us, just to make sure, because now we're talking about some medical aspects. We didn't want to just, even though Zia is a nurse practitioner, but we wanted to make sure that everything that's in it is credible and, yeah, and we have doctors around it.
I think that's amazing. And, there may be someone listening right now who's a principal, who's a teacher, or does something at an after school program, and they're thinking this book will be beneficial for my young girls. How do they go about having you come to the school or maybe even purchasing the books? Do you sell them in bulk, or are you all looking to do workshops to go along with the book?
We are, yes. And as long that they can contact us via the website, which is www.vaskanaproject.org. And I'll spell out vaskanaproject.org for your listeners. That is VASIKANA project.com. So vaskanaproject.com. They can contact us that way. Or they can contact you, Ebony, and then you can
Yes, and I'll definitely just be like, Zaya, they want you, girl. They need you, girl. Now, Zaya, I know you were working on new initiatives with, I think it's No Girl Behind, Leave No Girl Behind. Is that your new initiative?
That's the initiative for the International Menstruation Day.
Okay.
World International Menstruation Day. Their mission for this year, 2019, was to leave no girl behind in puberty education. And that is our mission with this initiative, to make sure we put a puberty educational resource and leave no girl behind in puberty education.
So basically making sure that they're knowledgeable about what happens when I have a menstrual cycle. How does this work?
Yes.
What do I do? Are those some things that are touched on in the book?
That is where we are going with the puberty educational resource.
Right, but
That's
this is
coming
just
from
how
the
both of the
proceeds.
projects kind of work
Yes.
together.
Yes.
Because then we're talking about the V Project. The V Project does the stuff to give us the information about the menstrual cycles, but the book is what we're using to bring women together, to encourage and empower them. The proceeds from the book goes back to fund the V Project.
Yes.
Boom, there we go.
Yeah, and let me just add to that, Ebony, and say, there's a lot of research around how girls perceive themselves and their bodies and how they grow up to be young women. And this is all based on, at the point of entry into adulthood, what are the messages they're given, right? So, if at the point of entry into adulthood is with your menstruation period, if at that time you're suddenly told, oh, you need to do this, all the negative information about what your body's going through, don't do
Hmm.
this, don't play with boys, that starts to cement how a girl perceives her body, whether she likes it or not. Yeah. And then the study also showed with the girls that from the onset are told this is something natural and wonderful, nothing to be ashamed of, they tend to grow up to be more empowered um, and more confident, in the way they look towards themselves and their bodies. So this is why this is really important because, again, you build a healthy young women. You know what that will do to the world?
Right.
A
They
lot of
become
healthy,
amazing queens,
exactly.
grown
Yes.
women who are powerful, who believes in themselves, and who doesn't mind uplifting the next woman. And I think that's the part that we forget is that the bullying, the negative energy, those comments that people say on Facebook, all the judgment that happens because of what's in you. And you're trying to portray that on the next person. So this book, I call on you, sis, is for us to say, I'm calling on you for help. I'm calling on you for guidance. I always tell this story about this lady at my church. I was going to church. I wasn't able to paint my toes. I never really cared about that type of thing. I just loved the shoes, but I had open toe shoes on. She literally grabbed me and told me, Queen, you never supposed to have your toes out in some open toe shoes with your toes not being done. Again, that's a lesson learned. If no one never tells you,
You don't know.
then you don't
You don't
know.
know.
And so while there may be a group in a corner laughing and cracking jokes because I got my toes out and they're not finished, instead of cracking the jokes and laughing, you should just come and tell me the etiquette of a woman. Sometimes we don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. My grandma said that about chipped nail polish. Oh my goodness, the nail polish is chipped. Once it's chipped, take it off. Once you break a nail, take it off. It's like, okay, if you don't tell people, they don't know. But that's why we got to start calling on each other. That's why I call on you, sister. Say, I need help. I call a sister every morning. I don't know what to wear. I got to do these interviews today. Does this look right? And I'm FaceTiming and they're helping me. They're talking me through, what to put on and how to work it out. But I know that's my weakness. But I know to ask for help. And so I think that this book is amazing. And one of the things that I'm loving about it is it's not just a regular book. This is a journal.
Yes.
So you're
to-
working through activities to discover what's needed and to get to a better level.
Yes.
So can I get a can I get a passage read to us? I just want a little snippet. Can you just tease us a little bit? It's okay we share a passage from the journal.
I call on you, sis, when my debt mounts and the finances dwindle. You always help me figure out a solution.
Yes, and I love it because hey, that doesn't mean, hey sis, I'm calling on you because I need some money. But hey sis, I'm calling on you to figure out a solution to this problem because my head cannot wrap my thoughts around how this can be fixed. I'm calling on you, sis, for help.
Yes. And then what's also wonderful about this journal, it helps you think of responses, you know, because so often as women we crush each other's dreams from just our response.
Yeah.
Just a message like, sis, keep going will help someone fuel up what they're trying to do or whatever dreams they're aspiring for. And if someone calls you and you are a down damper, that doesn't fuel the person that's calling you.
Right.
They may withdraw from whatever, you know, they're planning on doing. And this happens a lot as women. We should be encouragers. We should fan flames. We should tell each other to keep going, because our dreams, there's a lot of people waiting for the realizations of our dreams. So, from the response of what I just read, it takes courage for someone to call for help. It's even harder when finances are involved. Write about good spending habits that you commit to starting. What might have stopped the crisis you are facing right now? Could it have been avoided? So that helps someone to process what they're going through and find a
Hmm.
solution to avoid doing it next time.
I love it. I call on you, sis. This book is available right now at Amazon.com, or you can get it on the website. Tell them the website again.
Vasikina.org, vasikanaproject.org, and also from our publisher, Brawler Books, and Barnes and Nobles online.
Thank you so much again for coming, Zaya. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
for
again for
having
coming.
us.
This is so
Thanks a
amazing.
lot, Ebony.
Oh yes, no problem at all. I'm all about uplift. Just we have a platform. We have to use it for positivity, not for all the bad stuff, not for highlighting that stuff. It's about for me uplifting and rebuilding our community, so that way it is a safe place, it is a loving place, it is a place that our kids feel proud of, and not just we don't want to just be existing here. We really want to be making sure we're living out our purpose and leaving it behind. Yes, for the next generation. So this is Community Conversations. It happens every week right here on 100.3 R&B Cincy, 101.1 The Wiz, 1230 The Buzz, and 101.5. I will be back and see you next week.